What's up, everyone? This is Mookie. Wanted to go ahead and bring out a video today in regards to the Doom raids, and this is specific to the tech section here. So, my alliance and we always kind of run into a little obstacle when we're dealing with the tech section of Doom. So today's video is just kind of break down a little setup that I've been doing recently, and I've been having some good success on, and I just wanted to share it over here to the community and primarily to my alliance mates here, just so that way they can take a look when they have some time, but also sharing it to the YouTube people. So what this screenshot is, or not so much a screenshot, but what this is my rosters, saved rosters for the raids. And what I have created here over here off the tips from my alliance member, I think it was either Big Mac or Clyde, Brad, can't remember. Sorry guys, but shout out to you that showed this, and it made me realize like, yeah, I should be saving this lineup. So what this is for each node on the tech section. So up on the top, this is going to be for node number 1. The second one is going to be for node number 2, and the third one over here is for the boss node. Now the main thing off of this is just trying your best to try to keep your energy full for the next section as you start winding down on the battles. But sometimes it doesn't go through as planned. As you know, RNG always kind of plays a factor there, so things don't go as perfect. But nevertheless, whether I get some tunes knocked out and so forth, I notice the ones that get knocked out are the ones I don't need for the next section and so forth. So that's one of my outline. I'm going to show you the video that I done on my cell phone that just shows how I was able to go ahead and go through each of these. Keep in mind this is for Doom 2.0. I understand that 2.3 is a different monster, but we're not there yet, and I know a lot of people aren't as well from other alliances. So hopefully you enjoy this. And again, I just want to share it over to you, but you can take a look at the ISOs that I have set up and the levels that they're at. And I would say that, as you notice, I do have Lady Deathstrike on teal. She is one that I want to bring into the DD5. And then later I'm going to do the same thing with Doom. Kind of on the fence with Kestro. It just depends on what happens on the Cosmic section. So I got to look into the gears there. But these are kind of like the main 3 there that I truly use on each one of those. So they're kind of the core one. Doc Ock has fallen off. But those are the ones I can safely tell you guys from my personal experience that they're safe investments. So don't shy away on gearing them up, because you know the X Factor team is going to be one of the heavy war teams as well. So you don't lose much of anything when you do gear her up. She is a good future investment in my opinion. And so yeah, let's go ahead and just take a look at the videos there so you don't have to hear me talk too much. So let's jump right over into it. All right, so here we are. There's a section right there, just to pause. Well, I guess I already jumped through, but it's the left section. As you see, I'm going into my save lineup here, save rosters. I'm using that first team that I have, so you can take a peek at my lineups as far as how I had them sorted. I don't think it matters too much, honestly, as far as how you put them on left to right. And yeah, here we are. So just minor commentary I'll give to you. You have no choice but to go after Drax or Bishop, but I like to go after Drax to get him off the board because his taunt doesn't remove, so you might as well put the vulnerable. That's what I do is really key with Nebula's, where I'm going to put the vulnerable on. So it lands on him. Lady Deathstrike is key because she does the rewind, as she already went ahead and did. She got that whole section there with the bleeds. And there comes Kestro to start cleaning up. Now the one thing about my Kestro is she is a 7 red star. That's another safe investment. I would say you could do that if you choose to, like, gearing up people to 7. And here we go. So now the second bishop comes out. Now when this happens, the second wave drops, I'm really concerned with Colleen Wing. So you can see I want to go ahead and focus on her, but one of the other tips is making sure that anybody that has defensive up, you want Kestro to ping down on that. So that's what I did, is clean up that bishop. Now here I am targeting Colleen Wing now. Got the defensive down on her, luckily, off of the turn order. So that way I can go ahead and start cleaning her out. And she's gone, and that's how powerful that Kestro is. Next one is, I want to go after Cloak. I'm not worried about Silver Surfer too much. I just don't want, I really worry about people that are going to give me some, they're going to debuff me. And yeah, so that's why I knocked out Colin Wing. That's why I went after Cloak. And at this point now, I want to go ahead and focus on Silver Surfer as best as I can. So luckily, there it is. Defensive down, Lady Deathstrike doing her thing. And then I'm going to save that. This is where you start saving your cooldowns. And there's my phone doing notifications. All right. So focusing over here on her. I don't think it really matters who you end up, but again, it's just kind of go through your basics. Probably could auto basic, but not really, because here I'm always trying to use Shuri to go ahead and get the health. So maybe it's best not to auto basic, because you got to keep in mind Shuri's not going to go on to the second or third node, so I might as well try to use a pro ultimate. If it lands any heals, perfect, but if not, no biggie. All right, so we're going to the second node, and here's where you're going to see again, this is just me straight going through everything, no editing. This is the second lineup. As you can tell, I kind of got lucky a little bit. I got rid of Shuri, replaced it with Doc Ock. And here's kind of deciding, should I put health on them? I decided not to. I'm going to go ahead and just give it a shot. But if you feel insecure about your team, or if you know that they are not that leveled up as high as mine, then probably best to do some rated health. But here we go. So I'll focus on Captain Sam. Again, with Nebula, it's all about where am I going to land her vulnerable. So I want to put it on him. Want to speed rewind that group. And that's where Lady Deathstrike's so key. Now we got that vulnerable up. Here it is where I'm hoping my RNG luck will land on Sharon as well. But it doesn't. So got to stick with Captain Sam. To me, this is kind of optional depending on your preferences. I don't think there's a real right or wrong way as far as attack order. To me, it's Captain Sam or it's Sharon. Because Sharon, when she gets off like that, I got lucky, but she can land that ability block on someone you don't want to have it land on. So that's why I say I understand the argument. If you want to go after her first, I'm not going to argue against you. But to me, it's just, I choose it based on who has the defensive down. So it was Captain Sam, so I kept her alive. And over here, it's like, oh, do I use his ult? You want to make sure you time the Doc Ock ult. That's the only reason why he's good for this node, is for the flip. So if you notice, my pattern was off. It wasn't the right time to do it, so I saved his ultimate. And there was Nick Fury right after that did the buffs across. So I really would recommend that on the ult for Doc Ock that you wait until the second wave drops over here. So you'll see it in a second. But here it is. I'm just trying to land defensive down as many people as I can. So when this wave drops, this is where I want Doc Ock's ultimate to go ahead and come off. But during the meantime, like, here it is. Boom. So the key trigger is like, it's really trying to put defensive up on everybody. That's why Lady Deathstrike's so key. That's why Doc Ock's flip is so key. Because once you have that, then you just start pinging away with your Kestrel. But I feel that Rescue is one of the most important people to knock off on the second wave, so I go after her first. This shows she doesn't remove the debuffs, so that's who I go after. Okay, so there it is. Got her off the board. And now it's just kind of, I'm in control now. I'm not really worried about anybody that's on this one. I'm going to go ahead and I put that disrupt onto Thanos because I don't want him to taunt, because he is kind of a tank there. Once he has that up, can't really remove anything. You're just stuck behind him. But so there we go. Now we just kind of clean up the rest. Here's where you want to manage your cooldowns, as I did. I went basic right there. And just start targeting the ones with defensive up. That way, Kestrel gets her shots in as much as possible. And I lost my tunes there, but that's okay. Because luckily my two weaker tunes that typically fall off on here, sometimes they survive. I did some misplay a little bit as far as the attack orders and the defensive ups, missing my target, but I'm not worried about Doc Ock. He's just there for one node. Nebula did her 2 nodes. Now we go on to the third grouping here that you'll see is for the boss node. So there they are. They're both dead. Got to replace those 2. And there they are. They're already saved. So Misty Knight comes into the picture, and so does T'Challa. Now I like to put him in the middle of Lady Deathstrike and Doom, mainly because that's where he can go ahead and copy their buffs. Because real quick, I should pause that as I talk about T'Challa. What's let me see if I find it. Yeah, so what's key about that is that, Lady Deathstrike, she's gonna get some offensive up, and then when the bots come out here for Doom and you have them all on the board, they start getting defensive up, they start getting offensive up, and they start getting speed up and so forth. So I want T'Challa to copy those effects right there, and that's why I put him in that particular position. So we'll take a look at the match here. All right, now here's the key thing. Got the rewind ready. Now I like to go into the grouping to the left here because my concern is, again, calling wing. I don't want her to put that the health block on the group, so I'm gonna go after her. And then over here is trying to decide, okay, what should I do? And you guys can add in your comments what your preference is. I like to put the defensive up, so that's my choosing. But when you do that, you get the taunt now from Miss Marvel. So maybe I could have done an ultimate. I got to practice with that a little bit more, pay more attention to it. So now I'm stuck behind her taunt. So, sorry, so now my Doom got his ult going, knock her out. And the reason why I'm so worried, and going back real quick, didn't want to extend it, but I mean, the little situation over here again, as far as like why it stinks to have Miss Marvel put that taunt up, is that when T'Challa gets his turn, he's stuck over there. So it's like, okay, I want to steal his ability, but I can't do it because I'm stuck behind a taunt, and that's why I'm forced to go ahead and choose. Don't make the mistake. You got to save that special for Doom specifically. So since I'm over there, I went ahead and did I did his ultimate instead. So we're just going back to that play right there. And then here we go. Luckily, I got my Doom ready. And then we just start pinging away. Start looking at who's the bigger threat. See, Colin Wing had her speed up. I rewind that. Went after her. Still trying to go after her. And at this point, I know she's on the fence. I know I got some turn order here. So I want to spread out my defensive buff. So that's why I get away from her real quick. So I can put defensive up on the other side of the fence. And we'll go back and just focus on her. Now, for a moment, there's that special. Got to go back to Doom no matter what. Take away that ability block. You don't want his ult to go off, so it did that. Luckily, it pinged now over to Colin Wing, so she's gone. Now, here's some misplay I did. I'm even like trying to remember. All right, Misty Knight, where's her stun? Her stun's the special. And for whatever reason, I chose the ultimate. Made a mistake there. Really wanted to stun her because now she got me with some bleeds. Alright, so here we go. Just ping away at Doom. And the first wave's looking good. Start to get this out here because that's where T'Challa really comes in. He helps save the ult from going off. Alright, I probably could have saved that too. Again, there's some misplays. I could be nitpicky about it against me. I won't be offended. But should have saved that, but that way I could have put this ultimate over here in this group, but I was still able to spread it with Lady Deathstrike. Alright, so there we go. Finally I did a stun. Bad timing. Alright, now I want to focus on Maria Hill. I don't like her bringing out her goons because they just start pinging away and they're just annoying. So that's who I focus on. Plus she has her ultimate that also does takes away the buff, so make sure I get her off. Now, usually right here, what I should have done, I like going after Black Widow because she puts a speed up and that becomes annoying where she gets them going, and I just didn't do that. But that's one thing I would say keep in mind. But of course the Dabros are annoying in themselves, so pick your poison. I decided to go after the Dabros, or mainly long shot. So here we go, get him out. Now you see Black Widow, she's getting ready to do her speed up for everybody. And this is where things get a little bit out of control when you get two Polarises on the board, including long shot. Alright, so I decided to go after him. Wanted to get that barrier out. And yeah, so they start pinging away at me, and that's what happens when speed up happens. But I do withstand it here. and get my turn. So once that happens, you want to go back and just go back with the same process. Put your defensive down on them, start targeting the defensive down, and everything will work in your favor. So here we go. So we got 4 left on the board. Still looking good on time. Yeah, so keeping those 3 on the board kind of, or like, the X Factor team on the board is kind of a nuisance there. And I can imagine that's probably where Doom 2.3 is even that more annoying when they have their stats boosted. Alright, so there we go. Now we're down to 3, 2. Put that defensive down on the other side. Start pinging away here. And we're good. So again, I'm on the left side. It's okay that I lost some of these players. The whole key off of it was not spending any raid energy, because moving on to the next section after this is Mystic, so I don't need Kestrel, I don't need Doom, I don't need the other people that have fallen off as far as tech characters. So I'm good. I mean, this is the boss node. I was able to survive it, able to beat the time going down to 7 seconds, and that's how it went. So yeah, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I just wanted to kind of show you 1 through 3 on those nodes for tech, and showing that, hopefully you can practice it yourself. Hopefully you have the same success. I have been very, very successful lately, and that's why I went ahead and wanted to share this straight through video for you, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Y'all take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.